Article 5 of Republic Act No. 9394. Republic Act No. 9394. March 16, 2007. An act converting the municipality of Borongan in the province of Eastern Samar into a component city to be known as the City of Borongan. Article 5. Process of legislation. Section 12. Internal rules of procedure. A. On the first regular session following the election of its members and within 90 days thereafter, the Sangguniang Panlungsod shall adopt or update its existing rules of procedure. B. The rules of procedure shall provide for the following. 1. The organization of the Sanggunian and the election of its officers as well as the creation of standing committees which shall include, but shall not be limited to, the committees on appropriations, revenues, engineering and public works, education and health, women and family, human rights, youth and sports development, environmental protection, peace and order and traffic, and cooperatives, the general jurisdiction of each committee, and the election of the chairman and the members of each committee. 2. The order and calendar of business for each session. 3. The legislative process. 4. The parliamentary procedures which include the conduct of members during sessions. 5. The discipline of members for disorderly behavior and absences without justifiable cause for 4 consecutive sessions for which they may be censured, reprimanded, or excluded from the session. Suspended for not more than 60 days or expelled, provided that the penalty of suspension or expulsion shall require the concurrence of at least 2/3 vote of all the Sanggunian members. Provided, further, that the member convicted by final judgment to imprisonment of at least 1 year for any crime involving moral turpitude shall be automatically expelled from the Sanggunian, and 6. Such other rules as the Sanggunian may adopt. Section 13. Full disclosure of financial and business interests of Sangguniang Panlungsod members. A. Every Sangguniang Panlungsod member shall, upon assumption to office, make a full disclosure of his business and financial interests. He shall also disclose any business, financial, professional relationship or any relation by affinity or consanguinity within the 4th civil degree, which he may have with any person, firm or entity affected by any ordinance or resolution under consideration by the Sanggunian of which he is a member, which relationship may result in conflict of interests. Such relationship shall include 1. Ownership of stock or capital, or investment in the entity or firm to which the ordinance or resolution may apply, and 2. Contracts or agreements with any person or entity which the ordinance or resolution under consideration may affect. In the absence of specific constitutional or statutory provision applicable to this situation. Conflict of interest refers in general to one where it may be reasonably deduced that a member of a Sanggunian may not act in the public interest due to some private, pecuniary or other personal considerations that may tend to affect his judgment to the prejudice of the service or the public. B. The disclosure required under this Act shall be made in writing and submitted to the Secretary of the Sanggunian or the Secretary of the Committee of which he is a member. The disclosure shall, in all cases, form part of the record of the proceedings and shall be made in the following manner. 1. Disclosure shall be made before the member participates in the deliberations on the ordinance or resolution under consideration. Provided, that if the member did not participate during the deliberations, the disclosure shall be made before voting on the ordinance or resolution on second or third readings, and 2. Disclosure shall be made when a member takes a position or makes a privileged speech on a matter that may affect the business interest, financial connection or professional relationship described herein. Section 14. Sessions. A. On the first day of the session immediately following the election of its members, the Sangguniang Panlungsod shall, by resolution, fix the day, time, and place of its sessions. The minimum number of regular sessions shall be once a week for the Sangguniang Panlungsod. b. When the public interest so demands, special sessions may be called by the city mayor or by a majority of the members of the Sanggunian. c. All Sanggunian sessions shall be open to the public unless a closed-door session is ordered by an affirmative vote of a majority of the members present, there being a quorum. In the public interest or for reasons of security, decency, or morality. No two sessions, regular or special, may be held in a single day. d. In the case of special sessions of the Sanggunian, a written notice to the members shall be served personally at the member's usual place of residence at least 24 hours before the special session is held. Unless otherwise concurred in by 2/3 vote of the Sanggunian members present, there being a quorum, no other matters may be considered at a special session except those stated in the notice. e. The Sanggunian shall keep a journal and a record of its proceedings which may be published upon resolution of the Sangguniang Panlungsod. Section 15. Quorum. a. A majority of all the members of the Sanggunian who have been elected and qualified shall constitute a quorum to transact official business. Should a question of quorum be raised during a session, the presiding officer shall immediately proceed to call the roll of the members and thereafter announce the results. b. When there is no quorum, the presiding officer may declare a recess until such time a quorum is constituted or a majority of the members present may adjourn from day to day and may compel the immediate attendance of any member absent without justifiable cause by designating a member of the Sanggunian to be assisted by a member or members of the police force assigned in the territorial jurisdiction of the city of Borongan, to arrest the absent member and present him at the session. c. If there is still no quorum despite the enforcement of the immediately preceding subsection, no business shall be transacted. The presiding officer, upon proper motion duly approved by the members present, shall then declare the session adjourned for lack of quorum. Section 16. Approval of ordinances. a. Every ordinance enacted by the Sangguniang Panlungsod shall be presented to the city mayor. If the city mayor approves the same, he shall affix his signature on each and every page thereof, otherwise he shall veto it and return the same with his objections to the Sanggunian, which may proceed to reconsider the same. The Sanggunian may override the veto of the city mayor by 2/3 vote of all its members, thereby making the ordinance or resolution effective for all legal intents and purposes. b. The veto shall be communicated by the city mayor to the Sanggunian within 10 days, otherwise, the ordinance shall be deemed approved as if he had signed it. Section 17. Veto power of the city mayor. a. The city mayor may veto any ordinance of the Sangguniang Panlungsod on the ground that it is ultra vires or prejudicial to the public welfare, stating his reasons thereof in writing. b. The city mayor shall have the power to veto any particular item or items of an appropriations ordinance, an ordinance or resolution adopting a local development plan, any public investment program or an ordinance directing the payment of money or creating liability. In such case, the veto shall not affect the item or items which are not objected to. The vetoed item or items shall not take effect unless the Sangguniang Panlungsod overrides the veto in the manner herein provided, otherwise the item or items in the appropriations ordinance of the previous year corresponding to those vetoed, if any, shall be deemed enacted. c. The city mayor may veto an ordinance or resolution only once. The Sanggunian may override the veto of the city mayor by 2/3 vote of all its members, thereby making the ordinance effective even without the approval of the city mayor. Section 18. Review of city ordinances by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. a. Within 3 days after approval, the secretary to the Sangguniang Panlungsod shall forward to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan for review copies of approved ordinances and the resolutions approving the local development plans and the public investment programs formulated by the local development councils. b. Within 30 days after receipt of copies of such